Welcome back, everybody, to, you guessed it, Sodi Pop right here on YouTube. Ooh, let's make sure my door's closed. Whoops, hit the mic. Sorry, my cat is being so loud recently, so good try it a little bit. Well, welcome back. I had a little appointment this morning, and then on the way home, I actually had a little check engine light pop on, so I had to fill my car with some transmission fluid, if you know what that is. Makes the car go vroom vroom, as every other fluid does in some way, shape, or form. Well, welcome back. There's so much to discuss. We had the drop this morning of The Night Nurse, if you're not familiar. So I didn't remember, but I remember a while ago when Daredevil season 1 was on. Of course, we got introduced to a nurse that ended up being the night nurse. That's kind of like her official lingo. It's like any character you're introduced to in the Marvel world is someone has sort of name, right? So she's the night nurse, Rosario Dawson, in the Daredevil series on Netflix. And then, of course, we saw Daredevil appear in the official MCU as well as Kingpin in different areas. So you haven't seen where they appear. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but they do appear. So we know that all the official Netflix stuff is the official MCU. And that also goes for DC stuff. I found out officially is that any of the CW stuff, as far as DC is concerned, is also part of like their multiverse as well, because you have Infinite Crisis, right, for the DC universe. It's a shame because I think DC overall in comics and stories, and for the exception of film media, is cooler and has been historically better from my eyes. The video games are really good as well. You know, you take the Batman video game is fantastic, the Arkham series, Arkham Knight, Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, like all those games are so much fun, so good. So it pains me to see CW has very iffy ups and downs. Like the Flash season 1, 2, I think I've seen season 1, 2, and 3. I really loved all of them. Green Arrow season 1, but then past that, it got really like muddy and bad. Gotham, I've only really seen season 1, which I really liked, but I haven't seen past that. But they tend to lose a lot of focus and get really crazy. They jump the shark a lot. They make a lot of really weird conclusions. They have good actors, but some of them not so great, and some of them they put in roles that don't make sense for the actors. So I really wish that DC had gone a different route. So we will see, and that goes into also the new hero card. So we'll discuss that as well. Lots and lots of stuff going on, of course. Let's go ahead and pop over to this most recent drop, right? Whoops. The VeVe Medium. We have the Night Nurse, of course, with 30,000 editions, just as we have come to be used to, is the 30,000 editions. So let me fix the way that my thing shows up here for you guys. There we go. And my cat is stepping on my keyboard. So let's do that for you all. Beautiful. That way you can see everything without seeing stuff you don't want to. And we are all set in that way. All right, and if you got a drop today, let me know. I did not get a drop. I was only able to try for the regular drop and not the rebound, just because I didn't have the time. I had to head out an appointment at 9 a.m. And actually on the way to the appointment, my car did its check engine thing, and I had to pull over to the side of the road and just double check stuff. So I figured that out. Then on the way back, came back. I got a comment, love the book. Awesome. I'm excited to read the book. My homie pulled his first ever secret rare today. Dang, nice. That's awesome. My first and only secret rare has been on that Red Goblin first appearance, which is great. And welcome back, Brendan Z. Let me make sure the live chat is ready to go for my stream, because I literally got in the door and started the stream because I was running later than expected due to my car issues. I think we're good there. Ah, beautiful. I am doing great. Thank you very much. So I was waiting till after I figured out all my taxes, because I had with the stimulus stuff from last year, and then I had a business, and then I went back to my old job. Between all that stuff, I was like, didn't know exactly what I was going to owe, because I had some stuff that I could, everything was home office for my business. So I didn't know exactly what was going to be the final. I had a guesstimate. I didn't know what was going to be the final number. So I wanted to figure that out first because I've been waiting to invest more in OMI, more in VeVe, more in just crypto in general. I did buy some HRO packs or hero packs. Glad I did because they sold out. The first million sold out, and they're going to be 6 million, 6.5 million overall released, with a few mythics, and the mythics only have 1,000 cards. So if you get one, good for you. And they're going to have all the edition numbers and stuff on them. So we'll talk about that later. But I'm doing very, very well. So I'm so glad that's done, over with, and I can now concentrate on other stuff, which is exciting. So thank you very much, Brendan Z. And hey, we should. So I'm gonna put this out to you since you're in SoCal area, right? We should maybe do a SoCal meetup. So me, you, I know Rational Asset is somewhere. I think he's in Los Angeles. So we of course have the Comic-Con, which tickets are very hard to get, but I'll definitely be around because I live right close to the convention center. So hopefully I can get tickets to Comic-Con, but if not, definitely I'm sure there's going to be meetups after around the convention center. And then maybe do a SoCal meetup. If you're interested, let me know, and then we can kind of like get together on the side. I know I'm in your Discord. I have not been active nearly as much as I want to right now, but now that I am free from concentrating on other stuff, I will be. All right, so some cool things to discuss for today. Of course, at the Night Nurse, to 21,000 all the way to 600 secret rare. That's awesome that your friend got a secret rare, if I could pronounce that correctly. And this is a character that has appeared. We don't know where she's going to appear more. It's a completely different type of comic. It's more of like a romantic. So it's something that was made for girls, right? To mimic like girls who are into Nancy Drew. Nancy Drew was kind of the female version of the Hardy Boys, solving mysteries and stuff. The sleuths with Chet, So that was what this was marketed towards. And then eventually she got into helping heroes as the Night Nurse, and we have seen her as Rosario Dawson, a big actress in the MCU now. Only in the TV shows, we haven't seen her, so she could appear. I know this is, a bigger Silver Age comic. It's not going to be Marvel Comics #1 level, but it is a pretty cool comic to hold and pretty unique, I think, in the lineup that we have on VeVe so far. So we have seen some really interesting stuff happen in VeVe as far as gems. The market is still closed down, and the market, what happened was there was a gem, quote unquote, hack. So stolen gems were being sold to people at like 0.25, $0.3 per gem, which is insane, right? So those people who bought also got their accounts locked. I am very hesitant. I have not personally, I know people who have, but I've not personally bought anything off of the app for these exact reasons, because either they might be bot accounts, there could be stolen goods, whatever. And that was my thinking all along, is that when MTL comes, VeVe doesn't think about it this much right now, but as soon as MTL comes, they are forced to think about it by law, and they have to look at if any funds might be stolen or ill-gotten or whatever. And if you're connected to it in any way, unfortunately, you could be caught up in their net. And so I never, my gains have been so incredible on VeVe. I'm sure lots of people has. Oh damn, Tito 420. Ooh, 2 rebounds, 4 and 8. Nice job, man. My gains have been so incredible thus far in crypto and everything. And the same with like taxes, right? I want to do everything as correctly as I reasonably can, right? Because there's not a lot of good tools around this as far as like tracking everything. So I track a lot of stuff myself, which is very cumbersome. It takes a lot of time, unfortunately. Although if you do it right from the beginning, it helps a lot. But that was my thinking, that I wanted to try and do this right from the beginning, so I wouldn't go off app. I've had the opportunity to. I know some people connect with, being a YouTuber and stuff. I know people, right? I had decided not to explore that, but yet, and something I may, if I know like people are legit and I can track down who they are, maybe. But it's always a big question mark. So I tried not to. So accounts are locked. Things are being banned. It is a possible reason for the drop in the market because we saw an influx of cheap gems. Maybe a possible reason for the recent pump So what happened is, before this official announcement of everyone will have to KYC, before this, we only thought that if you wanted to KYC, you could, but now it's known, and this was what I always thought, is that everyone is going to be forced to KYC at one point or another. Again, if it's know your customer, anti-money laundering, and they are responsible, because they are a market, whether they say it or not. They are a market. They are a tradable market, just similar to Coinbase and OpenSea and everything. So they have to act like this. So you have to KYC everyone. That's going to upset if you're under 18 years old or you can't get the parents to run your account, whatever. That will be unfortunate, but it will severely hamper bots in what they're able to do, severely hamper people with multiple accounts. You will see ones with stolen identities because they need an account and they need to attach a person to it. So uh, that will happen, as it happens with every other financial thing, unfortunately. So the KYC thing, I think, is an overall gain for us. It's going to be a positive. We're going through short-term pain because we saw bots essentially beforehand. I think there's probably rumors or someone may have known bots trying to sell off their stuff, crashing the market. This influx of gems kind of pumped up those recent golden moments of Winnie the Pooh, although I think Winnie the Pooh should be very expensive. But we saw that happen. He's still 490 as of the most recent. Again, the market's been closed for a day and a half, 2 days now. So 490 was what we saw. Will he be that way anymore? I don't know. I think we will continue to see pain in the market. Why? Because bots are they need to get out before KYC happens. They said they'll give us ample time and warning because there's going to be some legitimate people. If you know Kid VeVe on Twitter, granted his parents are in it, which is great, so they can probably vouch for him and put in their information, whatever, or trade their stuff to their account. But if you're under 18, or maybe there's some sort of special rules. Again, I did show on my MTL video, Will Destroy VeVe, that Robinhood, Webull, a lot of these other financial institutions, Coinbase, have ways for parents to kind of oversee the kid's account, and then it would legally pass to them. The parents can never transfer it in their name. It's under their kid's account, but they are custodians of that account until they're 18. So hopefully they can interact something like that. Again, VeVe never had plans to MTL, and they're very outspoken about they never had plans, and it's just a burden, an extra burden on them that they have to do it. So anything that makes them do extra stuff when it's related to MTL, we're less likely to get unless there's a massive community outcry. So keep that in mind. The market, crazy. Stolen gems, absolutely crazy. Another thing that we speculated, so we see all these pretty cheap comics. So let's go to a cheap one of the recent releases. This Common 515 Spider-Woman, first appearance of Siren, and then Deadpool is probably pretty cheap too, the Common of this. So Common, 7 gems. Let's say first appearance of Siren. So when Pokemon and but more him, we're talking about the MCP, so Master Collector Program, and getting points for that and bringing that into what's going on. So trying to get an extra raffle ticket once we have this raffle system where you no longer have to be the quickest at clicking the button, but you have to be available and present in the 10 minutes of the drop. You say you want to buy it, then you can use your MCP points to try and get another chance to buy it. And then there's going to be OUP, which is the OMI utility program, so you can get another chance through there. We were discussing different strategies to try and get Master Collector Program points in order to get these extra raffle tickets, because we know there's going to be a whole bunch of points built up from the beginning, but they do expire every 6 months. So at some point during 6 months, a lot of the OGs that have been around, like myself or Brandon or Tito420 if you're watching, those points will expire. You'll need to get new points. So what's a strategy to get new points? Well, we know that if you burn collectibles, you'll get points. We don't know how many or exactly when that's going to happen. We know that if you are holding comics or collectibles, you get daily points, right? So one strategy we speculated is that you could buy a bunch of these common comics super cheap. Some were going for 4 gems, but this one going for 5 gems, so under the sale price, buy 100 of them, right? So you spend 500 gems, you spend 1,000 gems, you just buy 100, 200 of them. Use that as essentially cannon fodder to burn. So 6 months comes up, you have even MCP points with a lot of other people, and then Pokemon is released 7, 8 months from now, right? And you want MCP, you want to make sure that you have another chance. You can burn 100 comics, just get up. Let's say they give you 10 points per comic burn or more. You burn a bunch of comics. That was confirmed by Hello K. I was in a space yesterday. Kind of not related to what we were discussing at the point, but Hello K said that he knows whales that are doing that. They are buying the cheapest common comics and will be using it to burn to get these MCP points. So with that being said, these bad boys, and someone like me, I'm not a whale. I do have a decent amount in VeVe. I would not consider myself a whale. Maybe a manta ray or those little things that hang on the side of sharks that kind of feed off them. I could buy, 100 of these, right? And do the same thing. And so it's completely feasible that maybe a few hundred people do this, or 1,000 people, or thousands of people have a similar mindset. And this, when Spider-Man number 37, first appearance of Siren, goes from 30,000 editions to 20,000 or 15,000 editions, because so many of these cheap commons are burnt. Now, what happens to the price of that book? Well, when I was talking with When Pokemon, is that we think there will be a leveling out in these prices. That a lot of these very cheap ones, because they're being burnt for those MCP points, because they're now more rare, will kind of go up in value. We've also seen that for the secret rares. I think, and I've said this in my MCP article, MCP is very, very good for the VeVe ecosystem, because you have a $100 secret rare, and then if you get especially a low mint secret rare, but you get 6 points per day. And so it's going to be one of the cheapest ways to get 6 points per day for MCP, and you can buy different secret rares. So it will increase the value of some of these secret rares that aren't very sought after. This is 132 for one Spider-Woman 37. Maybe they'll pump it up to 300, and there'll be kind of a base floor for secret rares, because they're not only valuable for what they mean, their comic history and everything, they're now valuable for MCP points, which are valuable for drops, right? It gives them more value, more utility. So that's super important. Plus, there's a whole bunch of other utility, the way you can display comics and everything. That is happening. The burning is happening. A lot of whales are going to do that, right? That is another big thing that is happening within the VeVe ecosystem. Also, I was listening to the HRO or Hero live update. I have not listened to it all yet. If you are not familiar, these guys are selling HRO.GG, I believe it is. These guys are selling these cards. As you can see, it's flying by. I agree, sure. You can see it flying by and then going into your account. You can sign up for accounts right now. I'm really annoyed because the account didn't give me the ability. When I signed in, it didn't give me the ability to choose my name, and now I'm just like a random name. I did put in the support ticket. They haven't gotten back to me yet, which is kind of silly. So hopefully I can switch accounts. But if I don't think it flashes here, but they do end up showing. So they have mint numbers here, Black Adam right there, of course Green Lantern, that's from, he of course has a whole bunch of Green Lantern rings, Aquaman. They do end up showing in Action Comics #1, which is the first appearance of Superman, which we were hoping to get right in VeVe, but we did not. Will that be readable in the app? I don't know. So again, this excites me from the standpoint physical to digital, cool. It's one of the first, if not the first hybrid card collecting systems. There's no game around it, unfortunately. It's just a collecting aspect. Unlike most cards, it will have a mint number. So you will see, I was hoping to, yeah, here's what I'm gonna do. You guys see that? Okay. So you should be, I'm doing my print screen button that's going to pause it. But you'll still be able to hear me. So that pauses it. You can still hear me. I'm frozen. That's fine. That was planned. So you will see Wonder Woman in the A1 mint HRO, and then you will see it's mythic. So it has that kind of golden yellowish hue mythic, the originals. Those are mythics. There's a lot. I don't know if all mythics are this way, but it seems that mythics or some mythics will only have 1,000 copies, which is super low, right? And they're going to print 6 million cards. The pre-sale was 1 million. It's already sold out. I fortunately got a couple boxes. It will be sold at different hobby stores and Walmart as well, so you will have a chance to get them in the wild, hopefully. So go ahead and exit out of that. And that is how it's going to go. And then it'll have a QR code on the back. You can scan it into your app. Go ahead and sign up. It looks very similar in a way to the VeVe app. You can buy, sell, and trade these cards. Again, you'll have the physical version. I'm wondering, because the physical and digital are directly connected, unlike in VeVe, where if you have the digital, if there's something physical, it comes after, and it's just kind of a bonus to the digital. So will you have to keep the physical in mint condition, and it's way more valuable if you sell the physical with the digital? There's that whole thing that will be worked out with time, but I think it's very cool. Again, if you compare it, this is amazing, right? It seems really cool, really nice. But if you compare it to VeVe, it's only one license. They don't have the first appearance of Batman and all that stuff, because VeVe does in many ways. They don't have the first appearance of Superman or Wonder Woman in collectible format. You know, these are cards. Even the first appearance of Wonder Woman was not in VeVe. They did some promotional thing, I know. So DC gets a little confusing, and this goes back to my chat about the CW being officially part of the DC universe, right? Is that they just make really interesting decisions. And so I hope these are cool, as I think they are, and hope I get plenty of mythics, right? Because I think no matter what, if you get a mythic, they're so rare and possibly meaningful, they could be worth quite a lot. So very excited for and these guys did different cards for different brands as well. I believe they did Player Unknown's Battlegrounds as well, playing cards, which, you know, I'm not into, and they did a few other different cards as well. So very interesting stuff. So we covered the market, we covered the gem squeeze, we covered big accounts buying cheap comics to burn them later, which maybe that's a great investment. Like, and these could do really well, strangely enough. So that's a risk I might be willing to take. And then, of course, the market is not open yet, so we'll see what happens with that. Super duper curious. Let's go ahead and read the comic. So we have Night Nurse #1. Let's make sure we're gonna open up this bad boy. Close all these other things. Close my lewd videos. No, I'm joking. Don't have any lewd videos on the iPad. I try out for my OnlyFans club. All right, we are connected and ready to go. Go back to my face very quickly. Super cool. Yeah. So I did not get full rebound, and I did not get the initial drop, unfortunately. So I might buy one of these in the market if and when I can, just to have it. This particular one. Any first appearances I definitely want to grab. I'm going to turn this up. We're going to read the comic, and then if you have any other questions, we can hang out and discuss, and then we will go from there. Oops. All right. Little comic reader up and ready to go. Avengers Forever showing up on the screen. Scream. Night Nurse. Hopefully it pops up. I believe she is on here. Linda Carter. Night Nurse, they only have 4 issues here. I'm not sure if that was the entire run. Looks like only 4 issues. 1972. I'm excited to see some well-worn ideas in here. She's a lady and she's a nurse. Sweet. Marvel Comics Group. Enter the world of danger, drama, and death. Ooh, we need to get ready for this one. A little water. Night Nurse. Torn from true life, more thrilling than tomorrow's headlines. He's hurt bad. I've got to help him, but if I do, I'll lose the man I love forever. Linda, stop. You don't know what you're doing. You're not a nurse, and you're definitely not a night nurse. The making of a nurse! Exclamation point. Oh, this is great. I'm definitely going to get this one. On the threshold of a new career, on the dawn of a new day, graduation day, Linda Carter, student nurse, must make a difficult decision of her life. The making of a nurse. The scene. Outside the busy entrance of one of the big city's greatest hospitals, where a young woman cries, and a heart breaks. I can't let myself be torn in two like this. I've got to choose. Choose between the man I love and becoming a nurse. Great. But how can I ever know if I've made the right choice? How can I ever truly know? Stanley presents the premiere of a pulse-pounding new series by Jean Thomas, Winslow Mortimer, writer and artist, Roy Thomas, editor. I'm so confused. I've got to think. I've got to. Should I run after Marshall, tell him I'll go with him, or stay at Metro and graduate from nursing school? A lot of people have been through this decision. Very relatable. I've got to choose. Before he walks out of my life for good. Think, Linda. You've got to think. The thoughts tumble through Linda's troubled mind. Back 3 years ago, to that first bright day at Metro General. Hello, future roomies. I'm Linda. Hello yourself. Just unpack, okay? Careful there. She bites. Well, that's rude. To that day, the letter came, to the upstate town of Allenville. I knew they would, sweetheart. Oh, Dad, Mom, did Metro General really accept me? Would Doc Carter steer his first favorite patient wrong? Metro General is one of the best. We're so proud of you, Linda. To a New York district of crumbling walk-ups and cold water flats. I want to go to Metro General more than anything else in the world, but I'm scared, real scared. That's a whole other world, just a few blocks away. Georgia Jenkins, that's... You just come back now, when darnest this neighborhood will ever see. Your people need you. Bye, Georgia. And finally, to an exclusive Midwestern suburb. Father said if I leave home, I can never ever come back. Well, I don't intend to. Nice. Wow, these are hard choices. We have 3 different ladies from different areas, different walks of life. Christine Palmer will make it to a new life without her father's money. And if nursing school is all I can afford, then that's what it'll have to be. Oh, she's being cut off from that family Skrilla. And so it was the 3 widely different and dissimilar girls were thrown together in a great metropolitan hospital. As student nurses, you young women can expect to work harder than you have ever worked, or probably will ever work in your entire lives. Now, we will discuss proper assembling of the nurse's uniform. Very important. Well, if I can love my roommates, I can at least love my classes. Oh, if I can't love my roommates. As the 3 soon discovered, their entire lives at Metro General were involved in learning situations rather than the classroom. As you see in this illustration, the compound fracture differs from the simple fracture by the open wound at the fracture area. At the bedside, the best medication a young nurse can give is TLC, tender loving care. Or in one of the many hospital laboratories that serve in the ever-increasing need for knowledge in the medical profession. You are now about to witness an autopsy, an examination to determine the cause of death. Nice. I've cut open bodies before. Cut them open. Chemistry never was my best subject. Now, do I add the acid to the water or the water to the acid? Maybe I'm not cut out to be a nurse, but I won't go back to father's money. I won't. Oh, she spills the bottle. I don't know about the rest of the girls, but I'm one more 7 a.m. class and I'll collapse or go crazy. Cool it, Sleeping Beauty. Nobody's keeping you here. Time out, gals. Class is starting. The class started at 7 a.m., and the floor duty finished at 10 p.m. But the dedicated young women in the blue and white stripes didn't collapse or quit. They kept right on going, driven by the single burning desire to become nurses. The dark spot on this x-ray is indicative of tuberculosis. Miss Carter, will you read the next x-ray? Will you please notice how I correctly hold the tongue depressor when examining the patient? Who would like to try the technique next? The kid's like terrified. Please, please don't hurt me. Now that you student nurses have completed the course in chemistry, we advance to pharmacology, the study of drugs and their uses. The compounding of medication is a very exacting process. Isn't everything around here? As much as they loved nursing, however, the three of the girls lived under a shadow of tension growing from their great differences. Christ, Georgia. Chris, Georgia, won't you stop bickering just once? Can't we try and be friends? The dorm mother can pick my roommates, but she sure isn't going to pick my friends. You're both nothing but a couple of carpet-begging do-gooders. Now hold on just there a minute, Miss High and Mighty. I'm sick and tired of you both, of your sitting judgment on me like some sort of ghost of Florence Nightingale. Now, let me tell you a thing or... Ring! Ah, that's a general emergency call. Well, we've got to settle this later. You better believe it. Let's move it. We have a date in the emergency room. The nurses are called. As the victims of the 4-alarm fire pour into the Metro General, all is forgotten but the necessity of saving lives. Nurses Carter, Jenkins, and Palmer, take these children to the burn ward. Then hurry back. I need every hand on deck. For ambulance patients. Don't walk. Run. Hours later, when the last case has been treated. Hey, how are you all, little fella? This young man over here is doing fine. Now it looks like all the children are quiet at last. Oh wow, these are like babies. Where's my mommy? I want my mommy, please. I'm your mom. I'm joking. Your mommy has gone to sleep already. I'll take you to see her first thing in the morning. Go to sleep now, Tiger. Excuse me. Chris, Georgia. I'll be back in a minute. That little boy reminded me so much of Tag, my own little brother. I miss him, miss Mom and Dad and everything. I want to go home where people are loving and kind. Okay, sister, the coffee break is over. What do you mean, just leaving the floor like that? I'll get a hold of myself in a second. Save it for the head nurse. Hey, George is crying. Look, sorry I yelled, okay? Can we help? I couldn't bear to cry in front of the children. I'm just so homesick. I can't stand it anymore. Oh, the other two nurses reply. You too? I miss my mom and little kids so very much. They only live a few blocks away, but we don't have any time off, so I can't see them. Oh well, my big brother's out of work somewhere, and I still can't find the time to see them. I guess I'm not so bad off after all. And I never thought I'd get so lonely in the middle of all these people. Maybe I wasn't as ready to strike out alone as I thought, but I won't go back. But all we need is a good cry. So it was that the shadow over the girls lifted, and though the sun had burst through the long clouded sky, they became friends. Yeah, that's a good life lesson. Last one to the park after duty is a rotten respirator. Don't forget the picnic basket my mama fixed. Say, I'm really bushed tonight. When's Dan? Don't say another word, Linda. Just sprung for pizza. Come and get it before we throw it away. You do, and we'll throw it for you. We're having so much fun. The months took wings as the 3 years of training seemed to fly by, even for senior student nurses. Though some things never change. Uh-oh, I hear trouble coming. Size 10 feet. Miss Carter! Yes, Miss Brundage. I'm shocked to find that Mr. Michaels in 6C has been buzzing for 5 minutes. Since the doctor's rounds are coming up, I thought the supplies... Forget the supplies! The trustees must be approaching Mr. Marshall Michaels for years to donate a new wing to this hospital. We don't want him to complain, do we? No, we most certainly don't, Miss Brundage. Hello, I'm Miss Carter. What can I do for you? First, you can wipe that ridiculous look off your face. Second, you can help me out of the bed onto my feet. I've got dozens of clients I must call. If only I'd known I was going to end up in this godforsaken place. Mr. Michaels, your appendectomy was a very serious operation. So that you don't disturb the stitches, you need to rest a lot. You know, that's probably one surgery that has been greatly helped with modern advancements. So I'm glad it's not as serious. I mean, it's serious, but maybe not as serious today. Moving on. Bankrupts need rest. I need work. Ugh. Lean on me, Mr. Michaels. I believe I will, Miss Carter. I believe I will. Love. Say, Georgia, why does Linda smile so much these days? Well, let me put it this way, Chris. This isn't exactly Miss Brunge's brother there in 6C. Very funny. Lunchtime, Mr. Michaels. How are you feeling? Much better, Miss Carter, especially around mealtimes. Someone's flirting. Miss Carter, thanks to you, I almost hate to leave this place. You've made me feel like a person, and not just the prospective donor to some new wing. Why, thank you, Mr. Michaels. Thank you. Please allow me to thank you properly. Please allow me to thank you soon and properly. See you. Will you? Will you really? Wake up, Linda. Men like him are the stuff of dreams are made of. Hey, Linda, some dude named Michaels is on the phone. Is he out again? It's only been 2 days since. Don't ask me, honey. Ask him. Marshall Michaels was as good as his word. He came to thank his young nurse, and soon. Miss C. Linda, your beautiful civvies. And properly. Ooh, a kiss pursues the man of her dreams. From Miss Carter and Mr. Michaels to Linda and Marshall, and from Linda and Marshall to Darling and Dearest, the former patient and his nurse were falling in love. The view from this part of the rocks is great. Marshall, don't tell me. Let me guess which one is your boat. Don't be disappointed. It's not much more than a rowboat. Rowboat indeed. This is a little calling of the Taj Mahal, a nice place in the country. Well, ships ahoy, matey, or you'll swab the decks. That's how people die lost at sea. The sea breeze is so cooling. It's been such a long, hot summer, and it's fun to get out of the city. It's going to be fun to fish you out of the drink if you don't watch your footing. You're much too pretty to catch for me to let you slip away. Nice. Your usual table, Monsieur Michaels? Lead on, Henri. Darling, I've been doing a lot of thinking about us, about the future. When my father died 10 years ago, I took over the failing business and built it into a success. But I can't do any more, go any further, without you, the girl I love. So that's why I want you to give up nursing. That's, I love, that's like the first words out of his mouth. Not like, I want you to marry me and build, no. I want you to give up nursing. What? Dearest, you don't know what you're asking. Yes, I'm asking you to marry me. Now. That dick. I want to marry you more than anything, but graduation is just a few days away. I don't want you to waste your life as a nurse when we could. Please, give me a little time. Um, that seems like a very controlling move, right? Like, don't even graduate nursing, so you don't have a backup. Like, you have to be fully dependent on him. Come on, girl, be smart. Troubled as she was, Linda kept the events of the previous night a secret, for other things were brewing as well. Linda, have you ever seen Chris so happy? And Linda wasn't the type to rain on anyone's parade. Who is he, Chris? Were you never as bubbly for the interns from the humble hospital? Let's just say he's not a medical man. Come on, we want to know more. We're not going to let you go out with just anyone. Well, he's tall, handsome, and about 50. How's that to grab you? Christine, it's been so long. It really is you, father. It's been almost 3 years. I don't know what to say to you. Then say you'll listen to my proposition, Christine. I don't approve of what you did, but I'm proud that you were able to see it through. But I'm sure by now you've had enough of your nursing. If you come home after graduation, I'll give you anything. College, a trip to Europe, name it. I promise that I'll think about it. But that's all I can promise, you know? For Georgia Jenkins, a day off doesn't mean a millionaire's yacht or father's limousine. It means home. The old blocks seem very quiet. Today, not like animals. Is that all you ever do? Josh, Henry! Not you! Fighting in the streets? Not you! Hearing that one of their number has been recognized, the youth turn and run. Here, let me fix that cut. Josh, you're the only guy on the block that ever started college. Why kill yourself messing around with no-goods? Just the heat, I guess, Georgia. Hey, Georgia, after you see your mama, can you tell her to look at Bess? She's awful down in this weather. Sure, Mr. Toby. I'll be right back. There, Mr. Toby, some soup. Hook you up. I don't know what we'd do without you. You always come around home. Your brother Ben, though, we ain't seen him for a good long time. Phew, some day off. But you love it, girl. You know you do. Your old neighborhood and Metro General, only a few short blocks away. Still, I can't help but wondering what's happened to the big brother of mine. Why won't Ben come home? Wonder what Ben is up to. Night settles over the city like a woolen blanket, stifling, sticky, stifling, sticky. Records will show that it was the hottest summer in 20 years. Hey baby, your lights go out too? Yeah, we've been turned off again. I've heard of bulb snatching, but enough's enough. Weather Bureau records are scant comfort, though, as a neighborhood that's been browned out 4 times since the heat wave began. Boy, this weather sure packs our emergency room. Yeah, kids hurt playing down by the railroad tracks, tempers flaring, people getting into fights. Where will it end? Uh-oh, lights going off. Don't worry, Metro's own generator will take over. See, it goes on instantly. But too many times the people of the surrounding blocks look down their darkened streets to see the hospital shining, oblivious to the torment around it. How come they got lights? And we don't? You kidding? It's all part of the same establishment, dig? Wonder how Metro General would like to be part of our community for a change. Ooh, they're blaming Metro General. But, I mean... Okay. But even though the hospital is a symbol of another world, a world richer, more powerful than their own, they flock to it. There's no place else. All right, all the injured people come in. Mr. Toby, I heard you fell downstairs when the light failed. You've hurt your wrist pretty bad. They a lot of people getting hurt out there, honey. The fat cats that run Metro General, that run the power company, the stores, the schools, been hurting people for a long time. We pays them our sweat, our blood, and we get the scraps. Why is our part of town always the browned out, like they call it? How come we're always the ones left in the dark? Why not Park Avenue for a change? You'd best leave this place, Georgia. We ain't gonna live in the dark anymore. I've got to go by now, Mr. Toby. Why would Mr. Toby carry on like orderlies? Please help me take the patient x-ray. You've got to get downstairs to the basement. Not when a patient... Ben and Rocky, where did you two come from? What are you doing here? And in the hospital uniform? Don't tell her nothing, man. I can take care of myself, Rock. Ben, talk to me. So her brother appeared in the hospital. Where have you been keeping yourself all these weeks? Why haven't you? Rocky and I were out of town for a while, sis. But we've got a job right here. Right, Rock? Yeah, sister, a job. And we have to do it now. So bug off, nursey. You don't have to call her my sister like that. Let me handle this, okay? Sweetie, Rocky and I, well, this is our first work in a while, and we don't want to blow it, understand? Why don't you go call Mama, tell her I'll be coming home in a little bit. For you, Ben, anything. Ben? Working? Why didn't he tell me he'd come to an orderly in the Metro General? Somebody could have told me. Come on, lady. And with Rocky, the wildest kid in Franklin High? Oh well, maybe it's like they say. Maybe somebody's helping a bad boy go good. Even as Georgia tries to dismiss the doubts that follow her, Ben and Rocky have found their way to the basement. Hey man, this is it. The generator. That's one granddaddy of a generator. No wonder this hospital don't miss city lights. You think we brought enough dynamite to do the job? Yeah, Rock, I brought it. Whoa, we're gonna blow it up? Hospital? Come on, guys. Then, with all the wards overflowing in the time of crisis, Georgia plunges back into the work, submerging her feelings of uneasiness. You don't touch those stitches here. Yes, ma'am. Until over the public address system, she suddenly hears, Attention, attention, all personnel. A shorter cable has caused the area's brownout to be spread into the citywide blackout. The entire city is without power. Oh no! Did you hear that? There's no electricity in the whole city, except that we make here ourselves in the basement generating the plant. Georgia, you look scared out of your wits. It's just a blackout, after all. No, it's something else. A little while ago, I saw my brother Ben and his worthless friend Rocky. They were wandering through the hospital, dressed as orderlies. They were carrying bags. I thought of laundry down to the basement, but housekeeping closes at 6, and the only thing open so late is the generating plant. Chris, get the guards, the police, anybody! Come on, Georgia, we gotta move. Meanwhile, in the generating room, Rock, the guard, is dead. What? Oh my god. Jeez. Okay. That shocked me. Let's go back to that. Rock, the guard is dead. You had no call to shoot him. I could have tied him up. Besides, a pig is a pig. Ropes cramp my style. What a psycho. We weren't supposed to do any violence unless the power company refused to lift the brownout. And we're not set to bomb till we get an answer. This generator blows only if can't force them to give it back. How any other way? That was the plan. I'm changing the plan, buddy boy. Ben, Rocky, no. It's no use. It won't work. Listen to me. There's no power to turn back on. The cable shorted. The whole city's blacked out. What kind of crud you feeding me, toots? Hold it, Rocky. Sis, are you shooting straight with us? Yeah, I've ever lied to you before, big brother? Hundreds of people in the hospital could die if we lost power to run our equipment out. Enough hearts and flowers, girlies. Shut up and get over there by the generator. I get a lot of scratch for blowing up this mama. I think I care if two of you chicks go with it. Oh no. Rocky, you let those girls be. I'm talking to you, fella. Oh yeah? Who's gonna make me? You? I got the heat, remember? Correction. You used to have it. This one's for my sis. Ugh. He punches him. And this one's for her little blonde friend. Ugh. Ben, lay off. Get your head together, and let's do what we have to. Get up, you scum. Okay, you've had your fun, big man. Now, I'll have mine. Bam! Shoots him. Ben! Ben! Ben. Sitting on the ground. Blast. Now there'll be more guards coming. They're bound to have heard that shot. I've got to start hustling. Georgia, put the pressure on the artery to stop the bleeding. I just hope it's not too late. He's all yours, girls. What's left of him. See you in church. Mister, you just forgot the first lesson you learn in New York. Always watch where you're talking. Ugh, she trips him. Oh my gosh, the bomb. What do I do with it? She catches it in midair. Don't move, he says from the ground. Bring that bomb over to me, nice and easy. Please, don't do this terrible thing. Why do you want to hurt Ben or your friends and neighbors in this hospital? What do I care about them? What do any of them ever care about me? But why? Because the trustees will pay plenty to find out where there's a bomb planted in their precious hospital. Maybe even the mayor will kick in just a little, just so those wrong people won't be blamed. And a whole neighborhood goes up in smoke to ruin his shiny rep. You're crazy, man. Out of your skull. Maybe so, But that's better than being where you're both gonna be, which is dead. Blam! Ugh! I winged him. Move in, men. The police arrive. Linda, Georgia, I'll get the doctors, screams her friend Chris. Not a moment too soon. Chris, we were really playing a beat the clock. Ben's lost a lot of blood. We'll rush him to the operating room. I didn't know. Not about any money. Well, so he was locked out of the money conversation. Come on, man, do your research. Oh, Ben, what will happen to him? I know, he did wrong, but he didn't. You'll have to pay for what he did, you know that. But my father will get the best lawyer he can. You and I can testify he didn't know about blackmailing the hospital, and Rocky admitting to that killing the guard. Next morning, in a certain private room. I don't know. The first thing I saw coming from jail last night was Mr. Toby. Laying there, in that dark hallway, with a busted arm. Guess I was ripe to fall for Rocky's lies. Don't worry, Ben. You have friends now, and we'll... Miss Carter, you have a caller in the lobby. Miss Carter runs out. Marshall! Oh, so much, I tell you. So much is... Later, Linda. First, tell me, did you think about my proposal? What an asshole. He cuts her off. Oh, yes, my darling, yes. And I do want to be your wife. Then we'll seal it with a kiss, and we'll be married tomorrow in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Buenos, but today's my graduation day. I can't miss. You can and you will. We went through all that, remember? You're my wife or nurse, not both. I can't make a choice like that, Marshall. You must, Linda. I've got an important business deal brewing in South America. I've got to be there tonight. In an hour, I'll be on a plane, and I don't know when I'll be back. Are you coming with me, Linda? No. No, I'm not. I mean, she can't take another flight? Jeez. Then it's goodbye. I just hope and pray you've made the right choice for both of us. He walks away. Linda, what's wrong? We heard Marshall was out here, so we... Marshall was out here. Past tense. Period. Can't you see, girl? We heard right for the first time. Please, don't make a fuss over me. I'll be all right. Just help me back inside, please. Got to get ready for today. And tomorrow, Linda. And tomorrow. Next issue. More true-to-life adventures of Linda Carter. Night Nurse. That was a fun one. Wow, that guy was a jerk. I'm glad she said no to him. That would have been a interesting life. He probably would have cheated on her. Seems like a really swell guy, right? Well, anyways, that was a fun one. Really enjoyed. That was actually like a fun read. Definitely, we might see Linda Carter come back. Rosario Dawson is playing her. I don't know if her name is Linda though in the show. I'll have to check. But playing her in the Daredevil series, and so we've definitely seen Daredevil and Kingpin both appear in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Probably Rosario Dawson will as well as the Night Nurse. So very, very cool, very interesting story, and fun, and definitely full of old ideas and people. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. That has been this live stream today. We got to read and talk about the markets. We also spoke about comics being bought up by, especially common, cheap comics being bought up by whales, and of course, market being closed still, and the gem hack, credit card fraud type thing. So thank you so much. Remember, follow me on the 3Ts and IG, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and Instagram. Make sure to like this video. It does help out the algorithm, and there will be more videos in the future, of course. If you want to chat about anything else, comment below, comment on live stream, find me on Twitter, again, SodiPop Media is all my Twitter handles. You'll find me at SodiPop as well, and SodiPopMedia.com. All right, guys, thank you so much. Yeah, Tito420, not bad. I did not, I think this was better. This is right in like the middle. I think I'm going to do like my own comic book ranking based on how much I like them. I think that'd be a fun thing. This would be kind of right in the middle. I think the Craven so far is one of my most liked. I didn't read a lot of the Fantastic Four #1, Amazing Spider-Man #1, I'll probably do readings of those separately, not as live streams, and kind of like do like a ongoing ranking. I think that'd be cool. Did you get a drop on the latest golden moments? Yes, I did. I got the Lumiere and Cogsworth of the latest golden moments. I got that drop. Super pumped about that. My girlfriend didn't. I didn't get any rebounds, so that was the only drop I got. I was waiting to see where I did my taxes today because I had, long story short, had a business last year, and then I had my regular job and everything else. So I was waiting to see exactly what I owed, if anything, um, to invest more or not. And so that's all done now. So I'm ready to invest more. So I didn't bite on any of the other golden moments or anything because I was waiting to see all that for myself personally. Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of FOMO, and my account's just fine. But I don't want to like jump into the FOMO and overstretch myself, and all of a sudden like, oh no, I owe more than I thought I did, or vice versa. So, um, yes, so that is the only one I have. If the other golden moments are still, if Pooh Bear drops like below 3 and such, and then everything else follows, I'll probably try and complete that set. I'm going to complete the Fantastic Four Mighty Marvel set, and then I want to complete the Unicornals or Mermicornals Series 2 set. I just need Shark Bite, I believe, which was hanging around 400 for a long time, dropped to right above 200. So hopefully I can get that around 2 or sub 200, complete that set. And then other than that, I'm just kind of collecting things I think are going to be valuable and stacking them. I would like to complete more sets. I might complete a set and then sell something off right away because I don't necessarily want to hold on to a lot of these if I don't think they're going to be valuable. So it's like I have like this collector investing mentality. I lean more towards the investor side, so I rather stack things that I think are going to be valuable and sell them off if there's another big uptrend versus just only completing sets of things that I maybe like but aren't going to be as valuable, if that makes sense. But on a lot of these, I'm very close, like 1 or 2 away from completing the set. So with this downtrend, I'm trying to do that a little bit with some of my extra moolah. And then we will see. Nice. I got Winnie Mint. Nice job, Tito420. That is a flex. Winnie Mint 931. That's great. Sub 1,000. Definitely the most valuable of the bunch we've seen. I think will continue to be the most valuable. It's my favorite of the bunch. I was hoping for that or Lumiere and Cogsworth. I would think Lumiere and Cogsworth would be worth a little bit more, but that's just my personal. I really love Beauty and the Beast. I always did growing up. So I know maybe doesn't have like the mass popularity of Winnie the Pooh. And of course, Winnie the Pooh, there's a whole thing of the what Xi Jinping or whatever the head of the Communist Party is, because he was walking with Barack Obama that one time, and then they made a meme out of him being Winnie the Pooh and Barack Obama being Tigger. And so he's not Winnie the Pooh. So there's a whole thing around Winnie the Pooh being him. Like Winnie the Pooh is banned in China. So there's that whole thing. Still Mexico with bad Wi-Fi. Dude, that's awesome. Good job. That's always exciting. That's why I love the way the blind boxes are. You actually you feel like you have a chance. On these like timed comic drops, I don't get anything. But the blind box, the gold moments, I got it, and I did get the blind box of the Ukrainian flower one. I didn't try for the first Ukrainian one. I didn't wake up for that. But I tried for the second one, and I got the silver flower, so I got a blind box. But blind boxes, I feel like I actually have a chance. These timing ones, I don't know what it is. I have gotten many of the timing ones in previous, like before January this year. I got many of the timing comic ones just by timing it or doing the align gate. But I haven't gotten it by doing Brave Gate. Haven't gotten it by doing the rebound system, by doing timing. So there's just something about it for me, maybe for my setup, that doesn't loot to. I can also blame it. I moved out of my previous room, which I used to get tons of drops, and I moved into this room. So that could be it too, just where I am in my little place, because I usually am live streaming about when I'm doing it. So, but that's awesome. Mint 931. It always feels good to get something in a drop, especially something like that. Any of the golden moments will be more valuable than what they dropped for. Even if they do another 40 golden moments, they're still first appearances of all these characters, right? All these major characters. And we might, in the short term, we might get kind of like done with it, right? We might be kind of like, whatever. It's the first appearance. I'm over it. But in years' time, those will be the first ever thing. Just like the first ever toy of any of these things is very sought after. But it's just that they're coming in a very short amount of time that we lose sight of that. And in a couple of years, there won't be nearly as many FAs because VeVe will have run out of a lot of them than we see now. Like almost everything is an FA. So we're very, very fortunate to have this opportunity. And yeah, I will definitely be picking up some more of these. I definitely want to pick up the Mickey hat, but I think I might pick up the Winnie the Pooh and the other FAs beforehand. Hopefully the prices drop. I see more downside in the future, especially when the market open with all the bots. Officially KYC is happening. So all the bots are going to have to get out of the market, which means they're probably going to let stuff go. So, and crypto hasn't fully recovered yet. You know what? I was going to pull up crypto here. So crypto hasn't fully recovered yet. Bitcoin is doing well. It's above 40K, which is where I want to see it at. I want to see it close Friday above 40K. That'd be amazing. Another good weekly candle. I'm super curious if we're going to see a continuation of another bull trend. The way I'm thinking about it, I was talking with my buddy who I got into crypto investing, is that I'm kind of pretending like we're in another accumulation phase. I don't know where we are. When we look back, where we're in a bear trend, accumulation, whatever. But as of right now, the way we're going sideways, we could drop further. I'm pretending like it's 2018, 2019 when I was just buying every week. I just put a little more into projects I wanted, whatever. So I really didn't do any selling over this past bull trend because a lot of my projects didn't hit to where I wanted them to where I think they could. And I only invest in ones that are like actively doing some big stuff. So that's how I'm treating this as an accumulation phase. In VeVe, I'm just accumulating stuff I want. And the same with crypto. I'm going to be accumulating more OMI for sure. And I'll be accumulating probably some other like energy web token, which I don't have a stake in yet, which I kind of want a little bit in Polkadot, Terra Luna, looking at some other stuff. But yeah, that's how I'm trading it. I feel like this is accumulation. This is definitely accumulation for VeVe. We've seen it drop and go sideways. So a little bit each week, whatever you can afford. And what you can afford means you don't need for bills, you don't need for your credit cards, right? So be careful. All right. Now I think I'm ending the live stream. If you mention one thing, and I'll talk about it forever, because it's just this stuff is so much fun. It's so interesting. There's so many things that could happen if, when, will, right? So I'll be creating more videos. You know, hopefully we get some more fun followers. We can have some really lively live streams, and I will be doing another giveaway or two. So keep that in mind. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Tito420, thank you very much. Brendan Z, thank you very much for participating and hanging out with me. It was an absolute pleasure of mine. Until next time, we'll be reading comics and having fun and getting those VeVe drops. Have a wonderful day. Remember, be yourself and